Hey guys, Eric at ProTex Remodeling.com, Grand Prairie, Texas. So today is Sunday. I'm out here in Cedar Hill. This poor lady called me yesterday, wanting to know if I could come look at her siding, right? She tells me a story about a local company in Cedar Hill that did her roof, that subbed it out. They did a good job, and they also did her vinyl siding. Well, apparently the owner of this company decided to do it himself. Didn't know what he was doing. This siding job I'm about to show you is not even 2 years old. Right? This siding is supposed to last forever when it's installed correctly. This lady paid for a drop-in insulation that goes behind the siding that gives you impact resistance and it gives you R value. They didn't put the insulation behind the siding. This is probably the worst vinyl siding job I've ever seen since I've lived in Texas. And here's the problem. So she won in court and she's filed judgments against this company. But the problem is, it's not able to collect her money, or it's going to be a long, expensive process. So the lady had to pay to have this job done once. Now she's got to pay to have it done again. And she could have put the best siding in the world on this house. Not that this mastic siding's okay. It's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Point is, she could have put a product like Diamond Coat on this house, which would have looked fantastic for a fraction of what she's now going to spend to do this vinyl siding twice. So there's a lot of labor involved in fixing this. I'm going to try and help her out. I feel bad for her. What I did find out is that this guy here charged her less than $10,000 for the siding. I did quick math in my head. There's about $8,000 in materials on this job because he did some windows, he did gutters, he did some other things. So there's about I'd say $7,000 to $8,500 just in materials on this job, right? Not to mention the labor. With soffit, fascia, gutters, and siding, this job would have been a minimum of $15,000 to $17,000 and probably really closer to $20,000 because I wouldn't have used this siding. I would have used crane board, which is a way better siding. But that being said, $20,000, this would have been done. She would have never had to spend another dime. She wouldn't have had to sue me, right? And it would have been done correctly, and she would have had the best vinyl siding in the market on this house. Now she's going to have an average siding on this house after paying to have it done twice for the same price as the best stuff would have cost her to get it done once. So here's the deal. When you're getting these estimates from these guys, right? I get it. Homeowners don't know what things cost. But it's part of it. I mean, I'm a consumer. There's things that I buy. I have no idea how much they cost. I mean, vehicles are a good example of that, right? But when you're working on your house and you're getting estimates for these contractors, especially in Texas where nobody has a builder's license, if you get 4 estimates, for example, take the bottom 2 and throw them in the garbage. They're not pricing their work correctly. They're underpricing their jobs just to get work. And those are the guys who do this to people's houses. Not saying that the most expensive guy is the best. He could be overpricing his work. But you pay one of the top 2 or 3 people in your estimates to do this job, you can hold them accountable because you paid them good money. Most of the guys that are selling in the upper tier, like myself, right, that sell jobs like this for $20,000 because we know that's the real number to make a profit to stay in business, we don't do this to your house. Do we lose jobs because we're charging 20 grand and this knucklehead came behind us and did it for under 10? Yeah, here's a perfect example of a job we lost. Did losing this job cost me any grief? Nope, sure didn't. I would have loved to have the 20 grand, but I didn't lose anything. Who lost? The homeowner did. Be careful on who you're dealing with. Let me flip this around and show you probably the worst siding I've seen in Texas. So starting here on this wall, and I'm going to do a little zoom in. So starting here on this wall, you'll see they've done some flashing over the brick. That's okay. That's a solid piece of J going all the way up, but they got some big, nasty, funky looking caulk bead going on there. And sometimes brick's crooked. You'll have it, but not like that. So going up the wall, you'll look at the corner up there where the J channel comes together. That looks like crap. The seams, we're standing at the front of the house, right? So the seams should be overlapped so that I can't see them from this end. So you'll see there's a seam over here, a seam right there that's overlapped the right way, but look up the wall. You get closer to that window right there, the seams are going the other direction. So they've got seams going both directions on this house. Speaking of windows, he did the windows on this job. This is the old aluminum window. So this is a sliding window, right? It's made to open left to right. There's drain holes, as you can see right here, even though this is a crappy old aluminum window. That's so water can drain. On a window that opens up and down, it's also got drain holes, but they're on the bottom, so they would be on this side. That window right there is a single hung window. It's supposed to be installed this way. So the drain holes are on the left. There's no drain holes on the bottom, and that window and another one along the backside is leaking into the lady's house. These gutters are supposed to be strapped, right? So you can see the gutter brackets. There's a bracket up there on the gutter. That's what holds it into the fascia. Okay, these fascias are on an angle, right? So see how these fascias are angling in? That fascia's angling in. So those should actually be straps, not hangers. And underneath here, there should be a triangle wedge to level this gutter out. And you use straps so that you can pitch the gutter, right? These gutters aren't even pitched. This gutter's crooked. Look at that. It's the same level as the roof. But when you go down there by the downspout, it's not crooked because the downspout's holding it up. So here's what happens. Water comes down the roof in a Texas rainstorm, overshoots the gutter, lands right on the brand new AC unit. So they didn't know how to put the gutters up. Underneath the soffit here, they left the old white ugly J channel on the house on both sides, and they put this soffit up. Well, when they put the soffit up, you can see, sorry about the camera work, look at the gaps in there. They didn't even cut it the right length. They cut the soffit the wrong length. They tried to piece together the J channel. They left the old ugly J channel on the house. They didn't even cover the fascia board. So this is the old masonite cardboard siding that's supposed to be covered in aluminum coil so that the stuff doesn't rot. So they didn't cover any of the fascia, although they were supposed to. They're supposed to put drop-in insulation behind here. She paid to have the drop-in insulation put behind here. They didn't put anything. This insulation, you've seen this on my video where I did the Hardy job. That insulation with that gray stuff is not even insulation, it's cardboard, right? So when they put the J channel up, look, they got a screw, big giant gap. Over here they got a nail, nothing in between. J channel needs to have a screw every 6 inches. We screw J channel because you don't want J channel to move and you don't want it to buckle on you. So every 6 inches to get straight J channel is what you need to do. Oh, let me go back here, hold on. Well, okay, you can't see it from here. I'm going to show you something back here. So they didn't do anything on the porch as far as fixing the porch. That's the other window that's bad, right? And I'm going to give this customer a copy of this in case she needs to give it to any of the legal people involved. So look at this. Look at how bad this siding is buckling. Again, the seams down there are facing me. The seams over here are facing the correct way. This siding is buckled so bad that somebody had to come out here and they actually put nails and screws like everywhere just to try and keep the stuff from falling off the house, because it's literally falling off the house. Going up the wall here, right? So look what they did here. They used outside corners, which is really a no-no. These things are going to leak like a sieve. This needs to be capped in aluminum and J channel, but they used outside corners. Look how they overlap the corners up there, right? But here's what's even funnier. Look at how the siding panels don't line up, right? This panel and this panel are supposed to be even. This one's down here and this one's up here going all the way up the wall. So when I step back here, you'll be able to see it. Same thing on this wall, although this wall looks better than the rest. Look at the downspout. She paid for new gutters. They put the downspout on. The downspouts are crooked. From the very top all the way to the bottom, there's 2 feet the wrong direction. They put them on crooked. So look, you can see how these corners, how bad these corners line up, right? Look way at the top here. Siding's blowing off the chimney. They didn't cap the trim board up there that's rotting out. Generally those need to be capped, and then we put a new chimney cap up there too, because these chimney caps are toast. So we use a good stainless steel chimney cap, lifetime warranty. Same thing here, right? So on the other side of the house I showed you that J channel. It was one piece of J channel. So that proves that you can do one piece. But they didn't do one piece. They seamed it right there. I don't know if you can see that, but they put a seam there. It's not laying flat. Why'd they do that? Because they underbid it, and they didn't have $7 to go buy another piece of J-channel because they sold it for the wrong price. Because if you're gonna go with these guys that are bargain basement cheapest contractor out there, don't even waste your money, man. Let your house just fall apart. You're better off. At least you got money in the bank. Look at the corners. So that's all. I can't tell. That looks to me like it came unlocked. Right up here you can see where the corners are all falling apart. There's gaps. I can't zoom anymore, but there's gaps behind there. Anyways, you get the gist. So I just wanted to bring this to people's attention. You know, this poor lady, this is her first house, her first freaking house, and she gets ripped off by some dipshit roofer that thinks he's a sider. Excuse my language, but that's just the way it is, man. This kind of stuff pisses me off, and this is why my YouTube channel started in the first place. So here's the deal, guys. I'm back. I'm gonna tell you straight from the heart, this is how I do business, right? I don't do this to people. People that do this to people piss me off. I know the name of this company. I'm not going to tell people who it is, but I know a lot of these guys that own businesses like mine, and there's some good ones out there, don't get me wrong. But we all sell correctly. We all know what we need to price our jobs at, and we all sell at the correct price, and we take care of people's houses. We hold our installers accountable. In my case, happens to be Sasha and my son. But eventually we'll get more guys because we're going to get bigger. And when we get bigger, we're going to get better. And, you know, bottom line is, I don't do this to people. But I see this kind of stuff every day. You as a homeowner don't see this every day. You know when you see it? When it happens to you. I've been ripped off. Not on home improvement, but I've been ripped off. Right? And until I got ripped off, I had no clue. So, in the construction trades, this is a fact and you can look it up. For companies under 2 years old, over 50% of them go out of business. For companies at 10 years, 95% of them go out of business. The majority of those that go out of business are for one simple fact. They don't price their jobs correctly. They don't make enough margin to be able to stay in business. And then what happens? They go out of business. You got bad installation. Whatever got put on your house, no manufacturer, windows, siding, doors, roofing, you name it. No manufacturer's covering proper installation. The company goes out of business, they do a half-ass job on your house, you have a problem long term, you try to get it fixed in the manufacturer and they say, sorry, they installed it wrong. Don't go bargain shopping when it comes to your most important asset, your home. That's my advice. So this is a Sunday and I'm getting back home to hang out with the grandbaby, so we'll see you later. I just wanted to show people what I run into. Not on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis. This is actually the third one this week. Similar circumstances. I'm out.